Sharon, as always, it was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Great to have you back, and thanks for having me.
Thank you. Always glad to have you here. Thank you as always for filling in. Tomorrow, Waz is going to be the program. Should be a lot of fun. We haven't talked in a while. We're going to catch up. So hopefully all of you will be there. For now, stay safe out there. Stay sane out there. We'll see you soon.
welcome. It's indisputable. I'm your host, Rashad Richey. Good to be with you. We have a lot on the agenda today, breaking down news of the day. With me, none other than the incomparable Senator Nina Turner. Always fascinating to have her brilliance on the program. Top story of the day, Donald Trump once again goes full racist in a rant against the Somali people. We have it. We will break it down. Here it is.
I've also announced a permanent pause on third world migration, including from hellholes like Afghanistan, Haiti, Somalia, and many other countries. I didn't say all, you did. Remember I said that to the senators as they came in? They said, why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships.
This is classism to another level. Racism and bigotry, obviously, the underpinning elements. It was Dr. King who said to judge a person by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. His policies are skin-based. His policies are race-based policies. His rhetoric is racially motivated rhetoric. His doctrine starts with race, discrimination, bigotry first. Trump would also insult the U.S. representative. Here it is.
I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
Representative Omar responded to this defamatory rant. This is to distract you from the reality that his best friend was Jeffrey Epstein. This is to distract you, to pivot away from the reality that they spent Thanksgiving together when he was president first. This is to distract you from his failed policies and the fact that nothing is affordable. You are not paying less. You are not making more. You do not have more opportunity. You have less opportunity. Your household median income is in the tank. Your credit rating is likely in the tank if you have student loan debt. You owe more than you ever owed. You are making less than you've ever made. You are paying more than you've ever paid. Inflation is through the roof. This is to pivot from the reality that is. Now, he may get an applause from a crowd of bigots, carefully selected racist individuals who still will attend his rally. Representative Omar responded, writing on X, quote, Trump's obsession with me is beyond weird. He needs serious help. Since he has no economic policies to tout, he's resorting to regurgitating bigoted lies instead. He continues to be a national embarrassment, end quote. And while Trump may not want to marry his sister, but he hasn't hid his attraction for his daughter. Put it up for a man. He did one time say that if Ivanka were not his daughter, he might be dating her. He said this during his appearance on The View. I'm not beyond reminding. Also, Donald Trump made sexual comments about his daughter, Ivanka, in front of his employees that were so lewd and so disturbing that he was rebuked by his one-time chief of staff, John Kelly, a former Trump official, writes in a new book, quote, Aide said he talked about Ivanka Trump's breast, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with his own daughter. Remarks that prompted Kelly to remind the President of the United States that Ivanka was his daughter, writes Miles Taylor, a former chief of staff at the Department of Homeland Security, in this new book, according to Newsweek. October 2006. Interview, Howard Stern remarks that Ivanka, quote, looks more voluptuous than ever, and asks if she had gotten breast implants. Trump, being a sicko dad, is willing to engage in the discussion about his own daughter, telling Stern that she did not get implants. Quote, she's actually always been very voluptuous. Trump responds, she's tall, she's almost 6 feet tall. She's an amazing beauty. In another interview from September 2004, Stern asked Trump if he can call Ivanka a piece of ass, to which Trump responds in the affirmative. A piece of ass about your own child. You let another man make that comment in front of you, and he left that interview room feeling that it was okay to make again. There's more. At that same rally, Trump would claim this. Here it is.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed.
The first true thing he has ever said. Black people know a scam better than anybody. They know what it's like to be scammed. It is no coincidence, Mr. Trump, that the vast majority of black folks believe that you are, in fact, a con artist. You can't give black folk credit in one speech and then discredit them in another. If black folk know what it's like to be scammed, they know what it's like to see a scam artist like yourself, then they have justly concluded that you are that and nothing more. According to some numbers about Trump's impact on the black community, in case you're keeping record, the Trump administration, their ramp up of immigration enforcement, including mass deportation, has not resulted in improved economic conditions for Black America. Since Trump took office for his second term, the Black unemployment rate has steadily increased to 7.5%, which is nearly double the national rate and the highest since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021. I bring that to your attention because one of the catalysts used in order to justify mass deportation was to enhance employment in Black America. Employment has decreased in Black America while he continues to lay out a bigoted plan for continuation. There is no emphasis on Black employment. He decided to defund major departments that employed Black folk, i.e., the Department of Education and more. According to a report from the Center on American Progress, Trump's economic policies, including his global tariffs, which are taxes, are disproportionately harming Black Americans and Black businesses. What's more, Trump's crusade against diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, and cuts to the federal workforce and public education have resulted in job losses and threatens to narrow pathways for economic and social mobility for Black Americans. So if you believe Trump is winning, understand Black folk are losing. If you applaud because you think Trump is winning, understand on the other side of that Trump victory is a Black person who's losing. But Trump's favorite African American, Elon Musk, at least agrees with.
Well, let's look at, Ilhan Omar, who was voted into Congress by, a large group of people from Somalia who are in Minnesota, which is really far from Somalia. Or Mamdani, who was voted to be mayor, but by a majority of people who are not born in America. I don't know. We just don't want to turn into a communist hellhole, basically.
Sir, you were doing cocaine in the White House, allegedly. This is Trump's African American, Elon Musk. He found one African American who agrees with him on this rhetoric. Let's be very clear. Understand the application of hypocrisy. Any individual that voted for Representative Omar, regardless of ancestry, was an American citizen. That is the only way they could participate in the congressional election. But he would like to distinguish those American citizens from what? Real Americans? I've never heard you make that argument for our Jewish brothers and sisters who have an ancestry from Israel. However, they are American citizens who vote in bloc and elect individuals across this nation. You reserved the difference of Black folk who happen to be from Somalia, but are American citizens. So your racism is showing just as much as Trump. All right, Senator, thoughts here.
There's a lot to unpack there, Doc. And Elon Musk, the nerve of him. He not from America.
Correct.
We could spend a whole show to talk about how he obtained his wealth, how his family obtained their wealth, the ancestry of his ancestors in taking over South Africa from Black Africans who are native to that land. But I'm going to put that all the way in the parking lot for now. The president of the United States of America is stoking hatred. He is delusional. And unfortunately, during this term, Doc, it doesn't appear that he has anybody like Kelly or some of the others who kind of kept him in check a little bit during his first presidential occupancy of the White House, because this is not his first time to the rodeo. He is totally out of control. And yes, there was a time in hip hop where then citizen Donald J. Trump was talked about a lot because it was about wealth and status mainly. It wasn't about all this other stuff. I doubt that the rappers who were rapping about him knew about some of the other things he had done in the world, or knew that he would be this much of a bigot as the president of the United States of America. The rap music was about financial status and the glorification, quite frankly, and misogyny too, Doc, of these statuses. But the nerve of him. But I need our viewers to understand, I want you to hear me clearly, that Donald J. Trump is not the first to try to pull this kind of stuff off, but we would like to think that we are a nation of progress. And that's why we who live in the 21st century should be aghast at this because we backtracking. You know, Doc, there was the Chinese Exclusion Act in the late 1980s. And for 10 years, our Chinese sisters and brothers and family and friends were prohibited, regardless of skill, unskilled, skilled, or lightly skilled, because I don't believe that anybody's totally unskilled, were not allowed to come into the United States of America for 10 years. And then we have the Immigration and Naturalization Act that before the Civil Rights Act, see, the Civil Rights Act, even though it was directed towards Black people, you won't find the term necessarily about us specifically. Every time Black people move for liberation, everybody gets some of it. There's a period of time in this country, Africans don't want them here. Look, some of our white sisters and brothers and family and friends who weren't from the northern part of Europe were not wanted here either. The signs in the window, Nina, and it didn't mean the Nina Turner, it meant no Irish need apply. Right. Those type of Europeans were discriminated against for years in this country. And then my last point on top of all of those points, the pure unadulterated gall of them fools in that audience cheering this madness on as if they are original to the country that we now call the United States of America. None of them are original. It is the indigenous people who are original to this land. And I would say, and they came before Columbus. I want to encourage some folks to go ahead and read that book because there were Black people who came into this land, but you see, they ain't try to take it over. But there are only two groups that ultimately, that's the indigenous people, and it is Africans and their descendants, because we didn't come here on the Mayflower. But the nerve, Doc, I get over yourself. The nerve, I'm telling you, we are the least Christian nation, I believe, in terms of how we comport ourselves. I know there's not a national religion. There is no national religion, but you know, people like him and other leaders, they cling to Christianity. What would Jesus do? None of this. And I'm gonna tell you something, if Jesus was born in the manger today, oh, they would have kicked Jesus out. Jesus couldn't find no refuge here in the United States of America. It's a shame, Doc. This stuff is immoral, and these people need to check themselves. They are not original to this country while they sit up here clapping. And Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is absolutely correct. The president's obsession with her is very troubling. And you know what, Doc, what I want to also say about this president, he has incredible chutzpah. I wish he would use the nerve that he had, the ways that he just manipulates systems. Can you imagine what kind of country this would be if he was willing to use that kind of energy for the good?
And maybe that becomes the point for the next leader who is opposite of Trump.
Yes,
to understand how to yield power for good properly. And you remind me of something, dear sister, when you talk about this being an expressed Christian nation, not a Christian nation de facto. I'm reminded when Yahshua, the Christ, was posed the question about loving thy neighbor. Because all of this comes down to loving God and loving others. And somebody wanted to be slick in the audience. And they said, well, who's my neighbor, though?
Yeah.
And the real question was, are Jewish folk my neighbor? Are those who are Samaritan, are they my neighbor? Because we don't associate with the Samaritan.
Come on.
And Yahshua said, let me answer it this way. And he gave the parable of the Good Samaritan, where there's a man who has been beaten, who has been robbed. A Levite passes him.
Yes.
You have two men, Jewish men, that pass him by. One is a priest, the other one is a priest in training. Let's look at it that way. But they're two Jewish men. The irony is that the emphasis of the story, the understood part of the story, is that the man who's robbed and beaten is a Jewish man. And here comes a Samaritan who's not supposed to affiliate with the Jew. And the Samaritan sees the man in this condition. The Samaritan responds to the need of the man. The Samaritan doesn't say, how did you get in this position?
Come on.
How did you end up in this place in your life? Why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstrap? What kind of job do you have? What kind of background do you have? He responded to the need of the man, took the man to a hotel, made sure that his bill was paid for, and said, if he charges anything else, charge it on me. Yeah. That, he said, that is your neighbor.
Come on.
The person who seeks your absolute best benefit. That's your neighbor, regardless of race and culture and religion. That is your neighbor. All right. Okay. We got more on the other side. It's indisputable. Stick and stay.
Hey, Andrew, what's up?
Hey, Cenk, you ready to make the switch?
Yeah, I guess.
I promise it's easy, universal, basic, and you get income.
Yeah, you keep saying that. But you sure I'm gonna have coverage?
Of course you will. You think I would have bad service? I'm Andrew Yang. Of course I have good service.
All right, let's try it. But I'm so bad at tech. So, wait. Should I do this thing of the hashtag business? Andrew, you're still on, right?
Yep.
Oh, I see it. No, wait, I don't see. Oh, yeah, I do see it. Here we go.
I actually did not realize that you'd be searching in real time, but I love it.
How much do people actually normally say?
Yeah, the average American is going to save between $500 and $1,000 a year on Noble.
Yeah, no. You know what I'm going to do, Andrew? Are you ready to become a Noble member? The 2 buttons are do it and go back. There's no going back. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Here we go, Noble Mobile.
Oh my gosh, I just called you, and are you now on Noble and not Verizon?
Why didn't you tell me it was going to be super easy?
I know, man. Now you just stay away from your phone and watch the money roll in.
I can do that. Here you go, phone, yeah.
What the f? Cenk, you still there?
Andrew? Oh, well, at least I got Noble Mobile.
It was really just one take. The whole thing is wild.
It's in my shoe. It's in my shoes.
Hi, I'm Brett Ehrlich with breaking news with Brett Ehrlich. This is breaking news with Brett Ehrlich. Hi, Brett Ehrlich here. According to EPA head Scott Pruitt, climate change is not happening. He cited a meme on Facebook he saw. When pressed to back up this source, he said it must be accurate because the watermark said it was made by a scientist. So, your move, Truth.
At TYT, our mission is to boldly pursue truth, challenge the establishment, and drive positive change. At a time when corporate capture of our media, our government, and our politics is nearly absolute, everyday working people need a champion to fight for them and to push back against the powerful interests that threaten our democracy itself. At TYT, we're proudly progressive and call out corruption and duplicity wherever we see it, from Republicans, Democrats, or anyone else. And unlike mainstream news media outlets, we're not beholden to corporate advertisers, to defense contractors, to Wall Street, or to Big Pharma. We only have to answer to our audience, and for nearly 2 decades, we've accomplished that by delivering honest, timely, and insightful perspectives on the day's news without fear or favor, or concern for whose toes we might step on, or which powerful elites we might offend. And while we're super serious about the news, we also manage to do it in a way that is fun and lighthearted. We can do this together and serve our audience, and yes, have fun doing it.
You are the media revolution. You are much needed.
TYT! TYT!
The place is like 95% TYT on.
Favorite channel, we're getting that message out.
Cenk and the Young Turks do an extraordinarily good job.
No matter what mainstream media says, you have to listen to the Young Turks.
The people who support us on the internet, that's what gives us strength. That's what allows anyone who was in there who was undecided to think one side seems to be winning, they seem to have a bigger army. There might be a reason for that. So thank you guys.
All right. Well, always good to be with you. I'm going to read a few of these comments. Very thankful for everyone joining the conversation. Taliban_Dragon. Trump really doesn't understand why citizens from Norway and Sweden would not come here. Where's the scoop? Far right of Norway are more left than the Democratic Party in the U.S. You damn right. You are damn right. And I'm not even being hyperbolic. That is, you can go point by point on policy, and that is accurate. That is an accurate. All right. And Kyra, Elon Musk was born in Africa. What's this point about people not born here? Oh, good. And RJL Network, it will take generations to undo the damage Trump is doing to this country. I don't want to claim. I get the point, and I understand the principle. He's revealing what has already been. He's revealing what has already been. And at least we know who they are. Because we didn't know this prior. We didn't know that the CEO of certain companies were down with it. We did not know that certain judges would sign off on this madness. We didn't know that certain people and presidents of universities would bow down to this kind of madness. Now we do. And Bill Fiend, I think, thank you for that. Speaking the truth. Really appreciate it. Context 1965. Hello, Doc. Mi amigo. Here you go. And it's just Vegas. Doc and Nina, what a treat. I agree. All right. Well, damn, Stephen A. You just catching L's left and right, brother. Tried to warn you, sir. During an interview with Kerry Champion, Joy and Reid would rip Stephen A. Smith a new one. Here it is.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond.
He said I got fired for ratings. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. You got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh, wait, it's like, what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment.
Sorry. Put it up full mass in the mouth. That was class. I would have said Sambo, but Negro work. No. Stephen A. got to do better. Picking fights with individuals based on fictitious argument, non-factual information. If your information was factual, okay, debate, have a difference of opinion, but you're literally reciting the talking points of bigot. That's the point. The only other people that are saying this are the ignorant and the racist. And you're supposed to be neither. So Kerry Champion, who used to work with Smith, by the way, on First Take, also has been a critic of Smith in the past, particularly on the statements of women in the media, Black women in the media. Remember last time we covered his statements about Michelle Obama. And they're now here. So another prominent Black woman in the media will call out Smith on his face. On The View, Sunny Hostin got into it with Smith over his recent tirade against Senator Mark Kelly. Quote, this is a quote now. You recently accused Senator Mark Kelly, a veteran astronaut, of crossing the line for participating in a video reminding troops they can refuse to follow illegal orders. Now, I got to say it again. Refusing to follow an illegal order is not a recommendation, it is a mandate. You are not supposed to follow illegal order. It is not something that you have to negotiate. You don't have to consider it. If it is an illegal order, you have an obligation not to follow an illegal order. Why? Because the word illegal is in front of order, making the order null and void. So he had a problem with Mark Kelly reminding people of the law. Sonny Hostin said before playing a video of Smith screaming, quote, "You know better, Senator Kelly. You know better. How dare you do that?" Hostin then quoted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who's currently the one giving the illegal orders, saying in 2016 that there has to be, quote, consequences for abject war crimes, quote, now given the fact that the secretary himself said that, this was such a fair question. I love to give you the opportunity to perhaps change your position on what you said Hostin proposed. Now, what has happened? Stephen A. Smith, loud, he's incorrect. He doesn't know, obviously, that refusing an illegal order is simply a thing you do. It is not a recommendation. The person giving the illegal orders, ironically, happens to be Hegseth, the man that he is by proxy defending by going after Mark Kelly. But Hegseth himself said in 2016 that you don't follow illegal orders. And if you do, there's a remedy, and it's called a war crime when you do follow an illegal order. Context established. He did this very directly. There was no gotcha. It was simple. What does Stephen A. Smith say? He said, quote, "I'm not changing a thing." Well, okay. And then Hostin says, okay, you want to stay loud and wrong. Smith says, you can call it loud and wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. Sir, this is a fact now that you are loud and wrong. I don't think anybody debates the loud part anyway, not me. And you are incorrect in your assessment that somehow Hegseth is above right here. He's the guy who said it in 2016. You're entitled to your opinion, he states. I don't give a damn what Pete Hegseth has to say. He'd have made himself the head of the military, Stephen A. He was never qualified for the job. When you talk about DEI and eradicating that, excuse me, what was he doing hosting Fox News on the weekend? And all of a sudden, he's the defense secretary. Please, give me a break. Let me get that out the way. Sir, you're very good at your job. I mean, but you're dealing with women of color. It's not gonna be that easy. So he tries. He continues. When I was talking about Mark Kelly, it was military. Like Stephen A. is a colonel. It was military. What I did was get on the phone with family and friends who served in the military. Why is that, Stephen A? Because Stephen A never had. So he gets on the phone, which I highly doubt. But he said he gets on the phone, he calls some folk up, family and friends, he said. And I said, quote, we're not civilians. This is not a court of law. You could be implicated for applying something if you are a former military member or you are a present military member. It wasn't what Mark Kelly said. It's the fact that he was a combat Navy pilot who served in the military, who would tell folks, ignore an order when it could get, and then here comes Joy, ignore an illegal order. Smith said, I said illegal. I'm talking about illegal. Then Hostin jumps in. Because we don't have the rights to the footage, I gotta give you play-by-play, so I'm doing the best I can. So Hostin jumps in. Hostin says, he said, you don't have to follow an unlawful order. And that is in the military code of conduct. It didn't sound like you were aware of that. Smith, no, I disagree with you. I had 2 governors text me, tell me I was wrong and agree with you. Host, you are wrong. Smith, and I had 2 senators that reached out and said, you are not wrong at all. Stephen A., I need you to start reading before you go on these shows. I need you to look up, go on Google, go to ChatGPT, something. Because this was real simple to find out. Military code of conduct. You do not follow a legal order. You can be prosecuted for them. There is no immunity for you following one. Well, except for the president giving them. He's the only one that has immunity according to the court. But everybody else goes to prison. Senator, here's the thing. Stephen A. Smith, there was a time in his life when we could tell he did research. He was right, at least on some of the sports issues that I would hear him commentate about, because he was in it, he was involved, he researched it, he embraced it, and he was able to give you nuance. Now it seems as if he's more so taking a position and then thinking about how to defend that position much later after he's factually proven to be incorrect in the position that's on the table. What say you?
Just stop digging, sir. And I want our audience to know I was on mute the entire time Doc was giving his commentary because this sister was rolling, okay?
Yeah.
Doc, this your other career to go with the other 100 you got. Play by play. The man was wrong. He should have just said, yes, I was wrong. Joy was cooking, my Wonder Twin. We call each other Wonder Twins. She was cooking on him. And hopefully he'll do some self-reflection. You know, there's a lyric in one rap song that I think the words go something like, don't get high off your own supply.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Stephen A. has gotten high off his own supply. As my dear Wonder Twin laid out, you really think you are somebody. And the piercing truth, and it's not too late for him. I mean, Doc, you probably know him better than I do. I met him in person just one time recently, a few months ago on the set with Chris Cuomo, a few months ago. And, I get, he seems to be a nice man. Obviously, he's good at his craft. Joy laid out why he being paid. That's one of the reasons. I hope to God that's not the only reason, but it's not too late for him to make a change. The Michael Jackson song, look at the man in the mirror. It's just not too late to make a change. But Sunny cooked too, which I often don't agree with her, but I'll put that in the parking lot, when she said you could be loud and wrong, and that's exactly it. But he just kept digging, Doc. I don't understand why he wanted to keep digging. It was clear, and Sunny, for her part, you're right. It wasn't I got you. It was let me just lay out these fact patterns methodically and give you a chance, sir, to respond. And he just still refused to admit, hey, I made a mistake. To err is human, right?
That's right.
He is human. So he may be good at his craft, at his entertainment. Because, Doc, I argue if there was a black woman being loud like that, we wouldn't be making nearly as much money. But I'll put that in the parking lot too.
Yeah. And
he should not be peddling his integrity. He should not peddle in hatred and the reinforcement of stereotypes on his own people.
That's right. But he apologized to MAGA when he offended MAGA.
Of course.
A whole apology.
Yeah.
Didn't it matter?
But owe us none. Yeah.
I thought he was right about it.
Right.
Okay. All right, we'll bring you up, Daysess. Okay. This one hit home for me. My dad was a black farmer, discriminated against when he had his farmland. The federal government decided not to engage black farmers. Instead, give land grant loans given to white farmers instead. Greatly benefited. They would have college with ease because settlement. Now, black farmers are to be excluded from some $12 billion farmers fleet. Put it up for that. Hell of a story, but it follows the pattern of this administration. And highlight Trump administration announced Monday that American farmers will receive $12 billion in relief as they struggle to keep their farms afloat amid rising costs and a decline in market. While farmers welcome the economic relief, black farmers, none of whom were invited to the White House's Monday roundtable, are likely to see little of the benefits due to cultural and historical barriers. You're looking at John Boyd, founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association, told the Griot after Monday's announcement, quote, "That's not going to help farmers like myself. We need help now. And many black farmers aren't going to get this. This stuff is really more money for large-scale white farmers, point blank, and black farmers ain't going to get a dime. Not targeted." All right, welcome back. Apologies. We had some technical issues. Sound. This story hits close to home because my dad was a black farmer, discriminated against when federal government decided to give land grant massive money to white farmers while at the discriminating against black farmers who were equally qualified for opportunity. Government years ago settled with many of those black farmers, and my dad was part of it. Helped me to have some ease. Now, there's a $12 billion aid grant on the table for farmers But according to black farmers, black folk not receive any of this money possible. Put it up for a man. The Trump administration announced on Monday that American farmers will now receive $12 billion in relief aid as they struggle to keep their farms afloat amid rising costs and a declining market. While farmers welcome the economic relief, black farmers, none of whom were invited to the White House on Monday for the round, are likely to see little of the benefits due to cultural, historical barriers. You're looking at Mr. John Boyd. Mr. Boyd is the founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. Told the Griot after Monday's announcement, quote, "That's not going to help farmers like myself who need help now. And many black farmers aren't going to get, this stuff is really more money for large-scale white farmers, point blank. And black farmers ain't going to get a dime. It's not targeted for us in the first place," end quote. Boyd, who represents 150,000 black farmers nationwide, explained that due to institutional barriers and cultural mistrust, black farmers have of the federal government as a result of decades of racial discrimination. Most black farmers do not report their acreage to the USDA, which is part of the requirement to receive the latest $12 billion relief. During a recent national conference with thousands of black farmers, Boyd said members were instructed to get a farm serial number and report their acreage to the USDA, which was met with pushback. They were saying, quote, "I don't want the government to know all my business, how much I'm planning, what I'm planning, when I'm planning it, and they don't want to help me," Boyd recalled. Quote, "I see and feel that argument. I do because I've been there. But also, when there's a pot of money like this, if you're not in that system, and if you're not set up, you can't get the money." Now, I want to remind you, this is against the backdrop of a country that says they can't mandate you to tell them how many firearms. They can't mandate you to tell them how much ammunition you or said fire. But they can mandate you to tell them how much farmland, how many acres do you have. And if you don't tell them that information, they can then penalize you by making sure you do not qualify for their team. Ironically, there's more. The longtime civil rights activist told the Griot, quote, "They do that on purpose," adding, quote, "In my professional experience, they do it because they know that that's the way around black farmers participate. If the farmer can prove that they're farming and prove how much they get, they should get some too," he argued. The USDA did not immediately respond to the Griot's request for comment on the concerns raised by Boyd and black farmers. Boyd is making a great point. The point that Mr. Boyd is making is that there are multiple ways to prove that you have the land, you have the operation, and you have the need. But to stick to this very restricted prerequisite document that only the federal government can implement and allow creates an intentional restriction so that the vast majority of money goes to white farmers, which was their intent and purpose first. There's more. The $12 billion one-time payment is intended to provide farmers with a much-needed economic boost as the market endures the effects of Donald Trump's global tariffs and foreign trade. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said the federal funds to bridge payment for American farmers impacted by unfair market disruptions would be received by the end of February. So the money's coming quickly. But once again, it's coming because it's not really fixing anything. It's making farmers whole based on the insane policies of this administration. So they're in the hole because of the current policy. Maybe this gets them back whole again, complete, but they never should be in this position in the first place. So the administration creates the problem and then acts as if they are solving a major. But in this solving of the major problem, they have figured out how to leave black folk holding their problem, but bailing out white farmers in the process. Reflecting on the multi-pronged crisis facing black farmers specifically, Boyd told the Griot, quote, "We shouldn't be losing our farms because of something that this president created through his Trump tariff fiasco." He added, "We shouldn't be losing our farms for low crop prices and markets closing up. All of this stuff happened because of the tariffs that this president put in place." Agriculture is the number one industry on the planet. It is the number one industry on the planet Earth. You need your farm. This man represents 150,000 black farmers stretched across the United States. Hard work. They are skilled. They are scientists. It is not easy to find someone skilled in irrigation, agriculture, and the science of growth. Not easy, because the terraform of the earth continues to change all the time. My dad taught me a lot. I happen to have a master agronomical agriculture. And the way this planet changes, you must have an apprenticeship model in order to create the connection between the knowledge of today and the knowledge you need. In other words, if you wipe out this generation of black farmers, you are likely not to get many more. Because this kind of tradition is passed on family. It is serious, especially when you have an earth that's here. So it seems as if I'm reading this quote, this is an intentional effort to eliminate black farmers. An intentional eliminate black farmers in the United States of America. You create tariffs that make it possible for your farm to be profitable. And then you provide a bailout option that primarily only white farmers buy. And it's the same damn thing they did 50s and 60s against farmers in the United States, in which decades later, the American public paid. All right. Senator, thoughts here.
Yeah, Doc, and thanks for sharing your family's history and legacy. My great grandfather, owned some land as well. And I remember my mother telling me he was always afraid that white people were going to come and try to steal it from him. And, we know that there's a legacy of that. But despite all of that, there used to be, I want to share some figures with our audience, that the number of black farmers in America peaked in 1920, where there were almost 1 million black American farmers. Almost 1 million, if you can just wrap your mind around that. Compared to today, 95% of the farmers in the United States are white. So all farmers are suffering. Black farmers always suffer disproportionately because black people suffer disproportionately in this country. And so it doesn't matter what profession we are in, you pull us out. If there's suffering to be had, that's us disproportionately. This is cruel, and the president knows it. And he's not the first president. He shouldn't be doing this. He does not have to do this. He could do something a different way, not letting President Donald J. Trump off the hook. But I need us to understand that he is not the first president or the first person to yield this kind of power and put forth policies that make it harder for black folks. Even FDR, as great and understanding as he was, the New Deal, in order to negotiate with white Southern electeds, Democrats, they dealed away black people, Doc. So it's the same scheme. It's just a different day. So domestic work and farmers left out of portions of the New Deal. Why? Because those jobs, especially on the domestic side, primarily Black people, primarily Black women. So there's always a way for America to do these things, and they don't ever even have to say the word Black. That has a way to disproportionately hurt us. In earlier segments, we were even talking about employment and what this president has done to disrupt and destroy the federal government, departments within the federal government. Black women, the number of jobs that Black women have lost, Doc, right now, which we know has an impact on Black families and Black communities, partly because of what President Donald J. Trump and his administration has done. So I am not surprised. Thank God for farmers like John Boyd and other Black farmers who are speaking up, speaking out, and trying to hold on for dear life to a legacy that ancestrally, when our ancestors were brought to this land, depending on what part of Africa, most of it was the western part, piercing a little bit of that interior, these cultivation tactics they brought with them.
That's right.
And they had to work this land and became them experts. What you call them, Doc? Scientists?
They are scientists.
The scientists of the soil.
All the way.
Yeah, this is gut wrenching. But we don't have to accept this. I want folks to know, hey, we giving you this information. We don't have to accept this. Please join and unite with Black farmers, because a different day is gonna come and we got to be ready for it.
Man, well said. We'll bring up this. We got more on the other side.
Every day, the Young Turks delivers 2 hours of solid, fact-based, timely news and progressive commentary on all the day's most important stories. We keep our viewers informed while also providing perspective and insight on the news we cover, so you understand not only what's happening, but also what's happening behind the scenes, the stories behind the stories.
We play musical chairs and put these children in one awful detention facility to the next. That's what's happening at the border.
The things that got him banned, he's still spreading. So presumably, I think it's reasonable to say that if you allow him back on the website, he's going to do it again.
Any legal voter that we deem not willing to vote for my side shouldn't vote because it'll replace me that's supposed to vote for my side. That's not how voting works. That's not how democracy works.
And while many people following today's political news can get discouraged about the direction of the nation and the world, that's not us. At TYT, we're genuinely optimistic about the future, and with good reason. Today, wide majorities of Americans agree with our progressive stances on issues ranging from healthcare and education to climate, immigration, and wages. The rising generation of young people are also overwhelmingly progressive in their political beliefs and policy objectives, and they're increasingly flexing their muscle as voters and activists to demand change from our elected officials. The traditional mainstream media is mostly AWOL. They, along with the government and many other cherished institutions, have been captured by corporate interests. Audiences sense that they're not getting the whole story or even the truth from once trusted outlets, whether broadcast and cable TV news networks or national newspapers and magazines. The antidote is the Young Turks. Unlike mainstream corporate outlets, we're not beholden to corporate advertisers, to defense contractors, to Wall Street, or to Big Pharma, and we don't carry water for the Republican or Democratic parties. So watch us Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, and join the thousands of progressives around the globe who tune in every day for TYT's unmatched, award-winning content and see what it's like to experience a news organization that only answers to you.
Indisputable, exclusive, disputable, exclusive. We brought you this first. No other news agency has this video. No other news agency has this story.
Every week on Indisputable, we do original, exclusive, investigative reporting you'll find nowhere else.
Our reports have been viewed by millions. Hosted by Sean King, Ben Crump, Senator John Ossoff.
You, through your investigative reporting, unearthed very troubling allegations about specific forms of abuse and discrimination in the federal prison system.
We catching these cases on camera. Just imagine the things that we don't see.
Our groundbreaking investigations and exclusive interviews bring you the real voices no one else wants you to hear. We tell the stories.
Imagine a prison that is so racist, the corrections officers contact me. That is a life or death situation being created. A Black woman who was driving for Uber was allegedly assaulted by a white male passenger. After we got involved, roughly 24 hours later, the police all of a sudden opened up an investigation. What was going through your mind when bullets were simply flying inside of your vehicle?
Honestly, I thought I was going to die.
Did these officers ever say that you fit the description of somebody they were looking for? Did they say that?
Never.
Okay, that means they lying.
And we want you to be part of our truth-telling movement. Send pictures and video of stories no one else is telling and a 1 or 2 paragraph summary of the story to Indisputable's exclusive tip line at indvideos@tyt.com.
If you have more information about what's happening at this particular facility, please let me know.
Together, we're challenging the system, and together, we're making a difference.
I have the entire background to this story, and it is going to make your blood boil.
Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, unveiling the truth, empowering the people. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific.
All right, welcome back. Always good to be with you. Okay, don't forget our brand partner, Noble Mobile, only wireless company, wireless coverage that allows you to get cash back, real cash money in your pocket, not Noble Mobile bucks or a discount to your next bill, but actual cash money. $50 a month, you get unlimited data. If you don't use a whole lot of data, great. You get money back in your pocket. It doesn't go to the stakeholder. Phenomenal idea. Noble Mobile, kind of like a bank account. You can redeem for great monthly rewards as well. You can withdraw that money directly. You can have it go directly to your bank account if you choose to. It's your money. Use it where you want to use it. Very simple. If you'd like to sign up, switch. You can utilize the QR code right in front of you or go to tyt.com/switch, tyt.com/switch. Okay, let's read some of these comments. Yeah. Yep. Narc, I think this is C. Narc Burgess. He is simply terrible at picking his battles. So Stephen A. Smith, horrible. I mean, he dies on heels. It's like, why that one? Context 1965. Why are some folks in the country treated so damn poorly? Why? I love their corn and taters and fruit as much as white farmers produce and beef. Seems systematic, doesn't it? All right, got something for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish a Karen would.
You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
I feel free! Back off!
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Too bad they missed the other night, wasn't it? Should have been here, they could have hit a big fat.
Excuse me, sir, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Go yourself.
Well, he initially said they could have had them a big fat N-word is what he actually said, sir. Put it up full mass. Imagine this guy being your neighbor. You know, openly racist, openly bigoted, and openly hostile. Well, that is the reality of one particular individual who posted this. We do not have a lot of background. I would like to have more background to this. Well, let's just say less than bubbly neighbor. All right. Okay. Senator, you know, having a neighbor who's a nuisance is already, you know, stressful. Having a neighbor who's openly racist, I could not imagine the kind of stress that person and perhaps their family goes through on a regular basis. But since the neighbor decided to be racist publicly, we have the opportunity to opine. What say you?
We do, Doc, and I appreciate the fact that you bring the Karens in all forms every single day so that they can be recognized for their work. Because obviously they want to be recognized. No, Doc, you made me think about my days as a Cleveland City Councilwoman and the types of calls I would get all the time with so-called normal neighbors, you know, less known, adding the pressure of having a bigot and or a racist living next to you is really hard when you have bad neighbors. And this is extra hard because it's a microaggression. And so with all the stuff that Black people already have to endure and other people of color, but just the stressors, and then to have an avowed racist living right next to you, yeah, you're in a pressure cooker all the time. It's very hard. But you know what? You gave this person his is it 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Fame. Yeah, he wanted that. He got
That's
it.
what he wanted. And he got it.
Got
We try to make dreams come true here. All right. Okay. We'll bring you updates if there's an update to bring. Okay. So, Waffle House, customer swings at a Waffle House employee equals, well, team spirit. Here it is. You say this is about hash brown, sir? Okay. Put it up full mass. Now, we don't condone violence at Indisputable. We condone self-defense. We saw, based on the footage we have, we saw somebody take a swing at a Waffle House employee. We then saw that good Waffle House training kick in. Team spirit. Everybody. Wait. Everybody was on the same page. And, you know, here's the thing. Jordan, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. We're going to play it again. And I want you to see the kind of unity that the Waffle House employees display. We're talking about male, female, white, black, and brown, all racial demographics. Everybody was on the same page. Go ahead, let's see it again. Here it is. There was a sister who grabbed a chair. There was a non-black individual who got involved, and somebody said, hey, listen, no, we got this, and pulled him away. And put it up full mass. Now, I saw the entire video of this, and at the end, the employee says, over hash browns, and the guy who took a swing says, yeah, I paid for those hash browns. And sometimes you just have to let it go, sir. Definitely trying to hit another individual based on hash browns is not worth it. So another brawl involving Waffle House workers has gone viral, and the reactions on social media have been priceless. One user wrote, love Waffle House, living up to the branding. Another wrote, they had his legs in the air over hash browns, LOL Waffle House, make you do UFC training during orientation. Finally, this poster wrote, if you're getting jumped at Waffle House, just know you weren't fighting employees, you were fighting a special forces unit. That place breeds warriors. Folks don't survive the night shift there unless they've seen things. So here's a funny background. I don't eat at the Waffle House anymore. I haven't eaten there since a security guard who was an off-duty cop decided to brutally attack a black woman over a fork or knife or something like that, a plastic fork and knife. This was years ago when I was still doing talk radio. So I haven't eaten at a Waffle House since. But when I was a child, when I was about 10, 11 years old, this is another story about my dad. My dad worked the night shift as a cook at a Waffle House. And he couldn't afford to have a babysitter and work that shift. So I would actually go with him, and I enjoyed it. I would go with him, and he'll cook me a hamburger and fries, whatever I wanted for the whole night. But yeah, sometimes things happen in the Waffle House after 12 midnight. It goes down. So anyway, I hope the guy's okay. And looks like the employees are just fine. And that's about as much as we have. Senator, thoughts?
Zach, I don't know why you willing me into this. I don't want to be pulled into this. Listen, two things come to mind. The Three Musketeers slogan, all for one.
Right.
All. Okay, that's how it's going down at Waffle House. That's number one. And then number two, what came to mind is the signal that our dear brother gave when he threw that hat up in the air. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay, when he was, see, Waffle House employees got that signal.
It was something.
Baby. So, hey.
Yeah.
We don't. Yeah, self-defense. This is all about self-defense.
Yeah, it is. And people that are in service work, don't take a swing at anybody because your hash browns weren't extra crispy.
No, it ain't even. I mean, it ain't perfect over the hash brown, brother. It's just not. But Waffle House, they rock a different way.
Yeah. All right. We got more on the other side. It's indisputable. Stick and stay.
Hey everyone, Matteo Scarapore here, author of Black Buck, which is Shop TYT's first fiction book ever. I'm honored. So, Black Buck is about a young man named Darren who's living in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. He lives with his mom, he has his girlfriend, he has his best friend, he has his neighborhood, and his neighborhood has him. Darren's also working at a Starbucks in Midtown Manhattan. And one day, this man, real suave and good looking, comes in and asks Darren to give him his regular. But for some reason, Darren says no. This man named Rhett Daniels, who's the CEO of a startup called Someone, located on the 36th floor of the same building, is impressed. And he invites Darren upstairs, and then he extends an offer to join his elite sales team. Darren reluctantly joins, and he soon realizes that he's not the only black salesperson there. He's the only black person in the entire company. So he goes through hell and back in order to make it to the top. And once there, he has status, money, power, but he says, you know what? I don't like being the token black guy. So he hatches a plan to help other people of color infiltrate America's tech startup sales teams, redefining what it means to be a minority in the workplace. This book definitely, if you couldn't tell, touches on many things that are relevant to this moment that we're all living in right now. But it's also connected to the many moments in history that have come before today. I hope that you read it. I hope that you enjoy it. And if you want to order a copy, go to shoptyt.com. Thank you, be well, and happy 2021.
Here's the inside scoop on diners in LA. You want good pastrami sandwich, you go to Factors. You want to see some people in the business, you go to Nate and Al's. You want the best variety? My secret spot's the Nosh. Now here's the inside scoop on politics and news. You go watch the Young Turks live every day at 6 o'clock Eastern.
All right, welcome back. Always good to be with every single one of you. Okay. Well, black man interrogates white people the same way black people are typically interrogated by Karens. Here it is.
Are you sure you live here? Oh, okay. You have ID? Do you have ID? Sir.
I'm not showing you my ID.
You don't have ID? Yeah, come out here and talk to me real quick.
No.
Yeah, it's been a string of robberies and the description kind of fits you.
Get out of my face.
Nah. Come step out? Yeah. Look, I don't care about this little mad look. I don't give a about that. Get your ass out of here. Do you live here?
Yeah.
I've never seen you before.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kara.
Kara?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know everybody that lives here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you live here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How long?
Yeah. Like 4 years.
Yeah, that's funny. I've been here, 5 or so.
5 years? Okay, yeah.
How's it coming across?
You said what? Pass out across?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure you live here?
I'm really positive.
All right. That's crazy.
Innocent white people had to be involved to make the point. I'm sorry, but the point is the point. Put it up full mass. We appreciate you all being part of this. The point was that innocent black folk are routinely involved in scenarios like this, questioning their very right to exist in whatever place they're in. You fit the description. Do you live here? Can I see your ID? Countless time, we've covered videos of black people being harassed and being posed these same damn questions at their own property, okay? Now, this black male is asking white people the same questions to make a point. It's called a social experiment, to see how it feels to be questioned about your right to exist, your capacity to exist in your own residential community. Feels different when somebody's asking you to present freedom papers, your ID, in order to be where you're standing. The man goes by foreverbrand_locked in King on Instagram. I thought it was a great social experiment to show how it feels the other way and the response that's given when you have a black male asking white people at their domicile how they feel about not being believed. They live there. Okay, Senator thoughts.
God bless that brother, Doc. And even in my mind to see him do that, because we're so accustomed to it being the other way around.
Right.
Well, I'm a social scientist. It kind of didn't compute for me. Like my brain was scrambling a little bit.
Right.
Right, but God bless that brother. I hope he keeps doing more of that. And I hope people get the damn point. But that was brilliant. That brother is brilliant.
Yes.
And you sure you live here?
Yeah. It seems so convincing, didn't it? Yeah, he has more content. Check him out. Okay. Yeah. Hell of a thing. So a true crime TV producer, white female, she poses as a wealthy individual, ends up getting millions of dollars because the bank just believed her. She's on the run, on the FBI most wanted list. They believe she's in Dubai. Put it up full mass. This is a hell of a story. True crime TV producer on the run after stealing millions in her scam that she is a wealthy heiress. Mary Carol McDonald wasn't simply a fan of true crime. She was a true crime producer and executive in Los Angeles. Now she's on the FBI's most wanted list, and no one knows her exact whereabouts. The FBI believes she's hiding in Dubai, but she can afford it. The former head of a California company that produced true crime TV shows has been added to the FBI's most wanted list years after being charged with portraying herself as an heiress to get millions of dollars from lenders. Mary Carol McDonald, 73, is believed to be in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The FBI said on December 5th. McDonald is a former chief executive at Bellum Entertainment LLC. That's based in Burbank, California. It produced shows such as It Takes a Killer and I Married a Murderer. Some of these are very popular programs. Here's the details. 73 years of age. She's from Michigan woman. Is on the run. And listen, when you say on the run, you're not really on the run when you got $30 million. You somewhere. You're not real on the run now. You are somewhere safe and secure. So they say she's on the run after stealing $30 million because she posed as a rich family heiress. Got this money from banks and other financial institutions in a years-long scheme. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said in a most wanted bulletin. Mary Carol McDonald is wanted for her alleged involvement in a fraud scheme in Los Angeles and Orange counties in California. The bulletin states the FBI says she posed as an heir to the McDonald Aircraft Corporation family, a falsely claimed to have access to a cool 80 million in a secret trust. The McDonnell Aircraft Corporation no longer exists. The scheme began around July 2017 and continued until May 2018, the FBI said. The company was having issues paying payroll and meeting its financial obligations, according to the indictment. McDonnell was named in several civil complaints alleging that she owed more than $1 million to creditors nationwide, authorities said. The FBI alleged that McDonnell knowingly defrauded the Bank of California out of $14.7 million to Bullion State. The FBI said she knew she was not entitled to the money and did not repay it. She allegedly defrauded more than $15 million from other financial institutions, according to the agency. The indictment said she used the money to pay, among other things, creditors and the payroll of Bellum. A federal arrest warrant was issued for McDonnell in December 2018 after she was charged with bank fraud and aggravated identity theft. The FBI believes McDonnell, who has ties to Montgomery, Alabama, is currently in Dubai. There it is. Hell of a story. Just came up on the radar for us, and we said, whoa, wait a minute. 30 million? Multiple banking institutions? The company she represents don't even, oh my. And she worked for True Crimes.
Doc, she was taking in them lessons, baby. She was taking.
That's right. Where did she learn it from?
Okay, these people are stupid, or either she is incredibly talented. One of the two. But I tell you this, Doc, I need to expand my horizons in terms of career opportunities to pose as an heiress. And I love it when you say, Doc, she ain't on the run.
She ain't on the run like that now.
Somewhere.
She's somewhere. Right. They ain't on the run. She's better than nobody. All right.
It's been a ride. It's been good. Oh my God.
This is why we fight. Privilege is a thing. If more people would understand that, I bet there'll be $30 million heavier right now in the bank.
She a bad girl. I'm gonna just tell you, she's skilled. That's what you call skill right there.
You pulled it off with not just one banking institution, but multiple banking institutions.
It's her, Doc. It's her, because she had to deal with a lot of different people from a lot. So I take back what I just said.
Yeah.
She is her. She's skilled.
Yeah, across all boundaries here, right? Different financial institutions, different lenders. All believe it.
The girl is big.
Amazing. All right, Senator, always a pleasure. Have you on the program. Tell people how they can follow you. Check out your great work.
Always, Doc. I just didn't know I could, want to be I'm stuck on that. I'm going to do some soul searching about why I've been aiming so low all these years. No, Doc, just a blast today. It always is. But people can reach me on Twitter at Nina Turner, the gram at Nina Turner, Ohio. I'm on Threads. I'm on them other things. Just look up Nina Turner and you will find me in my organization. We Are Somebody, because we all are somebody. Go to wearesomebody.org, wearesomebody.org to learn more about us and how you, yes, you, can get involved.
Thank you for all you do, this.
Back at you, Doc.
Right. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the planet. Remember, the truth is always indisputable.